Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing a quick little overview of this new video transmitter that was sent in to test, and now this is the Rush Racing 5.8 gigahertz video transmitter. And some of the key aspects of this, right off the bat, you can probably tell this uses the standard 30.5 by 30.5 mounting holes here, so this will fit in any flight controller stack, your stack of PDB flight controller, depending on how you have it. As long as you have the space, obviously it's going to take some more room like that. And also it does have a nice little barrel removal connector here. I believe it's the MMCX connector. You can see just this type of connector. It comes with this included SMA connector. This cable here, it just snaps in like that, and it's very solid. A couple of these have the UFL connectors, but they're pretty weak, and after a couple times moving in and out, they're gonna degrade the connection. But this is a much stronger, much sturdy option, so I'm glad they went with that. Now, I actually did get this about a month ago, which is the version 1 here, but this never went on anything because it didn't have any regulators or any power coming out, and for the build I was having it on, I wouldn't have any place to power my camera from. So this is the version 1, but luckily they updated. This is the brand new V1.1 here. This includes a 5-volt 1-amp BEC, so that'll be perfect for powering your camera there. If you look at this little breakout cable, this takes 7 to 25 volts, so basically 2 to 6S direct voltage. It has two wires here. You just wire them to a battery source there, and then this is output 5 volts, and it's already wired up to a 3-pin connector to plug into something like a RunCam Swift, and there you go. You have your voltage, ground, and video all plugged in, ready to go. All the wires match up, real nice. So a couple differences between this new V1.1 versus the old V1, which I think Banggood is selling this one, but I only think Underground FPV, which sent this into review, has this new V1.1. Not just the voltage regulator on there, but they changed the logo a little bit, and they changed the wire thickness as well. This is a lot nicer silicon wire on here. This is silicon, but it's a lot smaller gauge, so that's kind of hard to work with. As well as they changed some of the button layout and the LEDs, but overall this is a better version and definitely a good upgrade. So if we take a closer look on the back here, we can see this little screen which displays the channel number and the band there. We have two buttons on the side. This one here is labeled for power, and this one's labeled for frequency. And this one, there were two up and down buttons, but if you put this in a stack, you're not really going to be able to get in there, so it's really nice that they put them on the side, because you're more likely to be able to stick your finger in and push them there to adjust your settings. And this has 4 power modes. It has 0 milliwatts, so pit mode, so if you don't want to output any power, you're at a race and you need to change channels and such. I think it's like 0.25 or something, really minuscule. You're not going to kick out anyone's video, but you can still use the functions of this. You have 25 milliwatts, 200 milliwatts, and 500 milliwatts. It has an L, M, and H, low, medium, high, I assume. And there's 3 different LEDs, so that's nice. They'll light up, so it's really easy to tell what power level you're on. I hate other switchable video transmitters where I have to look up the LEDs, the blinking status, or how long it's on, or whatever, to just know what power I'm on. This is really simple with 3 separate little LEDs, and this is 48 channels, so it does have race band and a good amount of channels in there. You press and hold the power button, I believe, to change the power outputs, as well as you click through to change the frequency there, and then you hold to change the band. Now, like I said earlier, this does take full battery input voltage, 7 to 25 volts. It's probably a good idea to run it off a 12-volt PDB if you have it, but I do not in the case that I'm going to be using this, so we'll see if it holds up to that. It is, the video coming out is LC filtered, so that should be good. We shouldn't have any noise, and if any, it should be really minimal noise in there, so that's nice. As well as there is a little microphone over here. If you can see this, this is the little microphone there. If you wish to use that, that's nice. It does include it. So for the included antenna, they just give you this little guy, an SMA extension cable, basically, yeah, just an SMA there with the MMCX connector. I'm kind of disappointed because in the version 1, this one, it actually came with one of these, which is the right angle. I mean, depending on what build, that might be better or worse for you. But it also did come with this little whip, which I thought was nice to give you the option. because this only gives you one, but luckily I have all three so I can switch through, but just keep that in mind. You might need to buy extra extension cables. Of course, you also get a little sticker sheet if you wish to put any of their logos on some of your stuff. But that was enough about the video transmitter up close. Let's get it on a build and let's test it out and see what kind of range and video quality we get. Alright, so there we have it installed in the quad. This is my Hyper Baby here. Hopefully you can just see I have the VTX in there. Basically just ran the 2 power wires straight over and put them on top of the battery pad, and then put the included plug out of this straight up to the Runcam Swift Rotor Riot Edition. Straight plugs in and everything worked fine. So that's the build up, so let's go get some footage. Alright, so here we have the Hyper Baby, the little 3-inch quad, and this is on 25 milliwatts here, and keep in mind this is on the whip antenna, so we won't get as good of a performance as if we were on, say, a circularly polarized antenna. So I'm just going around the yard here to try and get some breakup, try and hide behind the tree. See, on 25 milliwatts there's quite a bit of breakup there, but it wasn't bad, definitely flyable. Come here and do sort of a vertical range test. If you look at the video, there's absolutely no noise. It's perfect video, very good quality, even off the full battery voltage. On 25 milliwatts, that was all the higher I could get up there. So let's come back down and do another little penetration test. You can see I'm standing just out front here. Let's go under the tree and behind the house. And you can see the video gets really bad here, but I mean, for through a house, that's really not that bad. Now let's land and switch to 500 milliwatts. Okay, got the quad switched to 500 milliwatts. Really easy changing the power, just a couple clicks on the power button, and I'm going to try and repeat the same test as before. So if we go behind the tree here, you can hopefully notice that there's a little bit less breakup. Still not great, it's just a whip, but it definitely seemed a little bit more penetration power with the 500 milliwatts. And if we go up real high, you can see I get quite a bit more range with a lot less breakup, a lot clearer picture than before on the 500. I didn't even go till the picture got real bad. I was just getting really high up there. We come back down and go behind the house again. We can get some more breakup, see how it does. Quite a bit better than the 25 milliwatts. Hopefully you can see that. The picture stayed very usable. And that's enough for that test, so I'll just do a little bit more general flying here, just having some fun. This is a fun quad to fly in tight spaces, and all you do with that. Alright, so there was some flight footage of this little guy, and just keep in mind once again that it is using this little whip here, so obviously the signal is not going to be as good as a circularly polarized antenna, but it does save some weight. And you know, the video performs just perfectly fine for me. I really like how simple it is. It can take full battery voltage. I had no issues with noise. It filters it out all just fine. It's great that it plugs straight into your camera. It's nice that it stacks. That might be an issue depending on what kind of build you have. Obviously, if you don't have room for another board in the stack, it's not for you. The MMCX connector has advantages and disadvantages. Some of the advantages are it's a lot more secure than, say, a UFL connector, but a disadvantage is, you know, it's not as common, so it might be a little bit harder to get antennas for, but it will have a much longer mating cycle, unplugging and plugging back in if you switch antennas a lot. I recently also just went to my very first race, and I actually crashed out my 5-inch quad and smashed the lens on that, so I just decided to run this guy for the last lap. I had already won by laps at that point, so I thought it would just be fun to run this guy. Here's some of the DVR from that. But yeah, it just held up real fine and had no other problems with issues when racing with other pilots there. As well as this little frequency card that you get is just really handy for knowing your channels. It doesn't have the letters for like Fat Shark bands and stuff, but if you can know your frequency number, your megahertz number, then you can set it. Say if I want to be 5847, I'll just go to 47, and that's really simple. Changing through the power levels and settings is super easy. Let me just turn this guy on here. You can see the LEDs over here. Let me go through the power levels. Hopefully you can see that orange LED. Click it once, go to green. That's 25 milliwatts, and it's labeled on the board next to it. Go back to 200 and back to 500. It just cycles through. And if you press and hold the power button for about a couple seconds, you can see it's flashing. That means that we're now in pit mode. And if I change through, I can still change it. This means it's outputting like 0 milliwatts, so you won't have any troubles plugging in a race, but I still don't recommend plugging in at a race when it's not your heat. And we press and hold again, it'll go back out of pit mode there. So to change our channel, we got that big screen in there, and hopefully you can see it actually reads off your frequency, which is super nice. So we're on 5905, so 5905. So I take a look at my card, that is 36. So if I press and hold the channel button, that'll change the band. You can see on my band 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And then if you press, just a quick press, you can cycle through all of the channels there. So yeah, overall it's a very good video transmitter, and I definitely do like it, and I'll probably be ordering some more. Just the only thing would be if in a super tight build you don't have the room for the extra stack board, that could be an issue. But other than that, I think it would be a great fit for you. And there's also a microphone up here, right there, if you want to hook up audio from your goggles. There'll be a link down below to Underground FPV. Thank you for sending it in to test. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.